We are going to move on to the playoffs. Let's get right into the playoffs now. We've got 4 games this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we?
Saturday's games, we got the Colts at the Titans. Now, a really early line on that. Sorry, at the Texans. Sorry. The really early line on that is the Texans favored by 1.5, so nothing crazy. Though that's gonna change as we go.
They'll move around a little bit.
And then the other game that day is Seahawks at Cowboys, and again Cowboys favored there 1.5. So the Saturday matchups are tight
very
games.
tight.
Going to be hard to call. Then on Sunday the Chargers are visiting the Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 2.5.
Yeah.
And then this one's interesting, too. The Eagles are visiting the Bears. They're going to have to go play in Chicago, where right now the Bears are favored by 5.5, which surprised me that it was that high.
I was surprised, too, but I wonder if that had to do with them not knowing 100% Nick Foles' status for the game as far as that injury.
Maybe, but I mean, that was the spread as of this morning, and the news came out yesterday that Nick Foles is fine.
Watch by Sunday. I think this spread's going to be tighter.
Tighter?
Yeah.
I hope so. I think a lot that, I guess we'll go game by game here in a second, but I think the big part of that game is man, it's hard to travel into the Bears this time.
It is, but we're talking Nick Foles. Now, Nick Foles is a magic man. Magic man, Andy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if Nick Foles goes into Chicago and wins this game on Sunday, the Philadelphia Eagles officially have a quarterback controversy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do already. But if he wins in Chicago, officially a quarterback controversy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not there with you, but I agree that Nick Foles definitely is a magic man. And
Jason Kenney, I want to hear from you.
Okay.
I want to know if he's a homer. I want to know if this is a QB controversy if Nick Foles wins this game.
All right, Jason, please let us know. Reach out to us on Facebook after you hear this and let us know. Controversy, yes or no? To me, for it to be even remotely a controversy, Nick Foles is going to have to lead them to another Super Bowl, which, by the way, would be one of the coolest stories imaginable. But anyway, how do you want to tackle these games?
All right, so first of all, what I'm going to tell you, we're going to make our picks here today. We are going to be putting up on our website, on our social media pages, we're going to put up, we're going to have a bracket competition. We did this last year, Andy, where you pick your brackets for the entire playoffs right off the bat. Yeah. The one thing you have to remember when you're making your bracket picks is in the divisional and the conference round, you've got to change the seeding because right now you'll see Indy and Texas go to KC, but if Baltimore or if the Chargers beat Baltimore, chances are the Chargers will be going. Yeah, there could be some shuffling. So you got to know how to shuffle those things. Any questions? Reach out to me and Andy. We'll help you out with that.
And we'll do our best to make the instructions clear on the
as clear as we can. It's tough. All right, let's start with Indy, Houston. We've got Indy is on a roll. Head coach Frank Reich has these guys playing unbelievable. Yep. Former Buffalo Bill. My heart wants to go Indy here all the way, but since the beginning of the season, I've been saying Houston. I love their defense. Deshaun Watson, I'm still waiting to see the Deshaun Watson of 2017, but what do you got here, Andy?
Well, you didn't make a pick.
So, I haven't made my pick. I'm torn on this game. I'm really torn on this game.
Yeah, this is the game where I'm gonna call an upset, and because I think all these games are very tight, and this is tight, so it's debatable whether you would call this an upset or not. I just have a feeling about these Colts, and I just have a feeling about Andrew Luck, and that Texans defense is going to be dialed in to pressure Andrew Luck. And in previous years, he's not been the best under pressure. But this year, he's taken strides there. That offensive line has come together. And I think that Indy's going to go in with a game plan to use that pressure against the Texans. A few teams have done it. And I'm going with the Colts. Going with the Colts on the road. Going down to Texas in that nice weather. And playing the Texans, and I just have a feeling. That's all there is to it.
I'm so torn on this one. I'm so torn on it. I love Frank Reich. Like, I can't express to you as much as I can right now how much I love Frank
You
Reich.
already did when you called him a former Buffalo Bill, like that was important. So you've already...
It was huge.
Yeah, you've already
He's led the biggest comeback in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Darn it all. This is tough for me.
Okay.
I'm going Houston.
You're going Houston.
I got to go Houston here because they have home field advantage. Again, that defense I think is just so strong. I'm going to take Houston in this game.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one. Seattle and Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like either one of these teams, honestly.
This is a coin flip to me. So, because both of these teams play to their competition, they play similar games, similar styles. At the end of the day, I think Seattle is the better quarterback, but maybe not by the widest margin or as wide of a margin as you would think. And Dak's really started figuring out how to use the weapons around him. So I'm going to go Cowboys here because they're at home, and that is the only reason.
I'm with you on that one.
That's a big trip for Seattle.
I'm taking Dallas on this one as well.
Yeah. All right.
Let's leave the last one. Let's go Philadelphia, Chicago.
Okay.
All right. I'll go first on this one.
Yeah.
The Eagles' front seven is a great defense. They really are a good defense. I mean, Chicago's defense, it's going to be really tough for Foles to put points on the board against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Tough. But at the same token, I think it's going to be tough for the Bears too. Trubisky is going to have to throw the ball here. There's not going to be a whole lot of Chicago running against this defense. Philadelphia's defensive backs, there's been a lot of injuries. I think that's where they're open to have points scored on them. Yep. But he's going to have the time to get the ball downfield. And that Philly defense is fast. They get after the quarterback quick. I'm going Philadelphia in this game. I think Nick Foles is going to keep the magic going, and I want to see a quarterback controversy going on in Philadelphia.
All right.
So excellent. I got the Eagles.
I'm going to go Bears because they're at home, because Nick Foles, though he is a magic man, he is not a mobile quarterback whatsoever, and the Bears are going to keep this at a low-scoring game. And Khalil Mack and his guys are going to do everything they can to get to Nick Foles. And it is going to require magic. And I'm not confident enough in that just now. So because the Bears are at home, because they're playing these guys in their house, and the way they've been playing in their house, I am going to go with the Bears here. But, Ray, I want the Eagles to win this. I want that story. Yeah. I want that story in our lives. I need it.
I need it.
Right. I need it too, but that's not going to sway my prediction.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Chargers, Baltimore. Now we don't have to talk anymore about Baltimore. We've talked enough about them. Chargers. The Chargers have an excellent defense.
Yeah. They
can get after the ball. They will have everybody up on the line. They've seen the Browns' game plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This game comes down to Phillip Rivers.
It does.
It 100% is on Phillip Rivers. Is Phillip Rivers the guy that came out and knocked off Kansas City in prime time? Is that Phillip Rivers going to show up? Or is the Phillip Rivers that crumbles in the playoffs, is that the Phillip Rivers we're going to see?
Well, hold on. Or is it Phillip Rivers that crumbled 2 weeks ago when he played this team?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So we have to talk about the Ravens for a second. Number one defense in the league. They disguise their coverages. You never know what's coming. Sometimes it'll look like they're bringing 5 and they're bringing 2. It's all over the place. You never know what happens, and they're all about baiting and fooling a quarterback. And the Browns figured them out. Now, the Browns had a rookie quarterback, so unfortunately, yeah, he figured them out for a lot of times and threw for 370-plus yards and 3 touchdowns. But they also baited him into big-time mistakes and big-time picks where he threw 3 of them, and in the end, they won that game. They absolutely made a fool of Phillip Rivers 2 weeks ago, held the Chargers to 10 points, okay? So what I'm thinking is this. The Chargers have the defense figured out. They can hold the Ravens to 20 points or less. I totally believe that, right? The Browns did not have the Ravens figured out, obviously. The Chargers have a much better defense. They have to. You're right. This comes down to, can the Chargers score? Last time they played this team, they couldn't. The Browns started showing the game plan on how you score on this defense, and Phillip Rivers is a future Hall of Fame quarterback. He needs to look at that, and he needs to do that, and he needs to do it better than Baker Mayfield was able to do. Yeah. So our call right now is going to come down to whether or not we believe he can.
Who do you got?
I got the Ravens winning again. I don't think Phillip Rivers is ready to go into Baltimore and execute that plan. Do I think he'll put up more than 10 points this time? Yes. Would I love to see him beat Baltimore and end their playoff run? Yes. But I'm not ready to. I don't believe he can do it.
Listen, we're talking wild card football, or playoff football here. Yeah. Wild card weekend.
Yeah.
There's upsets. I mean, all you have to go back is watch the history of the NFL wild card weekend.
Yeah.
Things are going to get crazy, Andy.
Yeah.
Things are going to get crazy.
Yeah.
And this is one of those games.
Okay.
We got a rookie quarterback going against potentially what could be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
And the thing that will cement him getting into the Hall of Fame is a Super Bowl run. He's got to make that run now. He's got the team around him to do it.
I think it's already cemented, but it would be a great story for him to finally get his Super Bowl.
If he gets a Super Bowl, it cements it, in my opinion. And I think he accomplishes that in the wild card weekend this week. I'm taking the Chargers to win this game.
All right. So we're all over the board here.
We're all over the board.
Yep. Right on.